Okay. All right. Well, basically, I've had a busy weekend. So you guys were on here on the Friday live, knew that I was going to California. I went. I got up at 1:30 in the morning, Saturday morning, and got in the car, 2 a.m., drove right to the golf course in California for a 7 a.m. tee time. Played golf, went with my friend to go get his brother, friend of mine too. He used to live out here in Los Angeles. He was flying in from the Philippines, and we spent some time in the casino, doing whatever he wanted to do, and went to my son's house, crashed there, got up, played golf.
Did you sleep on the couch, Jonathan?
No, they wouldn't let me.
Good.
Good?
Good.
Okay.
You would have not slept a wink on that couch.
Well, nonetheless, played golf and then went and took my son and his wife to lunch on the way out of town, and then drove home, and I was dead tired. Got up this morning and...
You brought me dinner from California, from my favorite Italian place.
I had to get creative. I had to get ice and do all that stuff, but we brought dinner, and it was excellent. So... that was my weekend, and today got up. The business still goes on, and had to get up and just get to work no matter how tired I was, and I had to go pick up merchandise too today, so that was pretty fun. And still got more to do after the live, so we're just going to be grinding. What was I going to say? I guess it wasn't that important. I totally spaced it on that.
You're having a Jenna moment?
No. I was going to say something, and I thought it was sort of relevant to the conversation, but I just can't remember. So let's forget that. So, yes, this is what I was going to say. Geolocation, guys. One-day handling. Now, I had a great Friday. You guys know that my Friday was excellent. Absolutely. So if we go and take a look, we had on Friday an $887 day, followed by $334 on Saturday, $223 on Sunday. Now, some people say, well, what are you talking about? I'm already at $224 today. We still got our evening sales to go through. So I'm hoping that'll get about $400 to $500. But usually I have a good Friday. It's not followed up by, questionable Saturday and Sunday. I'm used to getting $400 to $500 on Saturday and Sunday. I'm still a believer, guys, that same day handling, don't travel too far away. That's just, I'll leave it there. So now we talk about the one thing, and this is not a clickbait title. Wanted to talk about this. I was thinking about this today, same day handling, and it's something that I think we need to start thinking about as AI is being introduced to our listing habits. Now, not everyone's going to embrace it, and the folks that are going to embrace it probably won't need this advice. It's going to be the people that aren't going to use it. Maybe your processes are in place, you're just as fast as AI, but I think the focus has been on the speed. How many items am I going to be able to get listed versus AI? And people are kind of tired of it. But we're not thinking about the other things that these tools bring to the table. These AI tools are pretty darn good. Now, I know, guys, that there's some hesitancy about AI being, it's a lot of errors and stuff like that. Yes, there are some errors, but I think AI is making the same amount of mistakes as a human would. I use it every day, and I see errors every once in a while, and when I do it myself, I see errors every once in a while. So they're not all that prevalent, but there's other factors that we aren't even considering here. If the market gets flooded with just random listings, okay, the market's getting flooded, but random listings, just average listings, crappy titles, crappy photos, crappy item description, that doesn't sting so bad. But when the market gets flooded in certain categories, and now you're competing with more items, but now those more items have better titles than you do, and I'm just saying, if you piggyback off of listings, previous solds, ended items, or whatever you piggyback off of, like we do, we make a point to get in there and change the titles, but how many people actually do? And so how many people are now competing with optimized titles? See, I think there's probably 20-25% of eBay listings probably have really good, solid, optimized titles. Now you start increasing those numbers because eBay is all about competition. You want to be better than your competition. If your competition has better titles than you, if your competition has more keywords in their item descriptions, their item specifics are now, instead of how many times have you piggybacked off of a listing and there's empty item descriptions. So you got to go and find the information. So now you're going to be competing against listings that have the item specifics completed as well. And now your listing quality isn't as hot as it used to be as in comparison with other listings. Because remember, like with a listing quality report that nobody seems to have, is focused on where are the top 10% of sales, what are they doing? Top 10% of listings that sell in a particular category, how do they look? What do they have? What are the components? How are they, how many photos they have and all that stuff. So I think this is something that is not being talked about, not being considered, and AI is going to not only add more market share, more items on eBay, but it's going to add more quality listings, and we're all competing against that. So it's right now is the time where we want to really start focusing on improving the things that we've talked about all this time that people blew off. But I think it's going to even be more important going forward. And the starting point really is the title. And I don't want to get off into all the components because, it is a diatribe. But at the end of the day, I don't want it to be a 30-minute diatribe because there's so many things to talk about. But I think just by looking at, because I do a lot of store reviews, I do a lot of research on my own products. I do take notice of my competition and the kind of titles they're using. And I think we all need to work on that, guys, because we're going to be competing against AI. And your titles, first 5 to 6 words, they got to be in line with what the buyer is actually going to type in a search for that item. And so maybe when you're trying to figure out how to put your title together, think in your mind, how would I, as a buyer, search for this item? What would I type in to search for this item? And I need to maybe put those words in the first 5 to 6 words of an 80-character title. And then others will leave it at that and leave like 20 to 30 letters and characters unaccounted for. Just a short title. That's not going to cut it either. You got to put keywords, key features, key whatever in that title that a buyer could potentially include in their search. So that's the mind frame that you have to be in. And AI already knows that. It doesn't have to think about anything. It's going to put together a solid title for you. As while we're here trying to figure it all out. So just wanted to put that out there. There's so many different components of the listings that we need to improve on if we're going to compete. And are you going to be able to compete with a marketplace that has now AI listings and not human listings? Because I think the AI listings are going to win almost every time. So I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below, or if you're watching after the fact. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about your listing quality? You got to bring your game up. I think I got to bring my game up. We all need to bring our game up, unless we all are going to plan on using these AI tools and let it do the work for us. And there's a lot you got to think about. I use AI all the time right now to generate most of my item descriptions that I copy and paste. And if I have a title that I don't like the way it's worded, I'll have AI help me optimize the title. And it takes a lot longer when I do it than if you just have 100 items that have photos and you're running it through this thing. So I know a lot of you guys are just like, oh, here we go, AI again. But if we ignore it, if we just pretend it's not there and go along with the way we've been doing it for the last 5 years, we're going to collectively be wondering, why do I have a sales decrease? If we're not trying to be competitive with our competition, that can happen. Now, if you're in a category that there's no competition, just keep doing what you're doing. But I really think the way AI is going to affect things in the latter part of 2025, tomorrow starts the third quarter. So Q3, Q4, I think is going to be impacted by AI tremendously. So something to keep in mind. And speaking of the end of the third quarter, if you haven't used your store coupon, use it today. Don't let it expire. And if you're like me, jump on the coupon when it first comes out. I'll be here in the morning buying boxes.
Oh, you know what I need? I need padded eBay.
I think I say a padded wall.
Well, you might need that, but I don't need that.
Oh, okay.
I need padded polymer mailers.
You do?
The padded eBay.
The padded ones?
Yes.
I know we use them that often.
I use them all the time.
Okay, so I want to know you guys think about this stuff down below. Who do we have? I know we had Mike. Mike Mecco is with us earlier. I had
Brenda was first.
Yeah, Brenda was first. I was meeting with Mike and Archie and Mary McQueen. We're coordinating a get together, Flippin' Ain't Easy / Mike Mecco meetups. It doesn't have to be a Flippin' Ain't Easy anything, but it just getting everyone together who's going to be out in the Vegas area on the 15th. That's the Friday, the 15th. Or is that the 15th? Or now my calendar doesn't want to come up.
You said of August?
Yeah, I think it's Friday the 14th. I apologize. Friday the 15th.
You were right
Friday the
first
15th.
time.
16th, we're also going to do something. So Friday the 15th, get together for dinner. We're still working out the where and the what, because we want to do an event, like maybe either a miniature golf or a top golf kind of thing.
That would be fun.
And then Saturday, get together and go to some of these. It's too hot for yard sales, so that's not in the question. So we want to go in and go to like Savers, or we're looking into an indoor swap meet, but Archie and I need to go and quality control that.
Yeah.
That fantastic one.
Oh my God, that thing is terrible.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought Sonny sells there. Doesn't he sell there? I don't know.
No, he sells at the Broad Acres.
I don't know. We're gonna check it out.
Fantastic
We're gonna check it out. We haven't finalized.
It's a weird.
We're working hard to make sure that wherever we go is going to be a fun time. We can all get together, hang out, have a good time, and just enjoy each other's company, and to do the thrifting and stuff on Saturday too. So we'll give you more details. Hopefully you guys can make it, as many as you guys, and it's going to be one of those things where you come, we'll buy our own food and that kind of thing. It's not a paid for kind of thing, but it is a thing that is going to be a fun time. We can all get together and just have fun. Beard says, good afternoon, Skippy. 4, yeah. Skippy. But at least I read all my comments. I can't say the same for some lives that just skip over. Skip entirely. I mean, just like they're not even there. We do at least read the comments. Let's see. We got Keith, Pitco-0. We still have that same issue.
Yeah, it's only our live. It's only us.
I wonder if it is because we use OBS Studio. If that's the thing. I'm going to have to make a note to myself to try to figure it out. I thought it was just a one-time glitch, but apparently it's not.
I thought it was a one-time glitch, and then I saw, I think Pitco said it's only ours.
Derek W. Pat, nice to see you.
Derek!
Mike says, hi, John and Jen and family. Sales have been pretty good lately. Not killing it, but steady at least. Not feeling any summer slowdown. Listings consistent. That always helps with steady sales. I believe that is the case. You stay consistent in the summer, you're going to do just fine. Now, if you're selling ice, it's a stupid thing to say, but you're selling something that won't sell to anyone. It ain't going to work.
It'll sell out here.
It'll melt, sure. Actually.
Yeah.
How are you all doing, says Mike. Sir List-A-Lot says, number 6 checking in, not quite Johnny 5, but still alive and flipping like a garage sale ninja.
I love that.
There you go. Sir List-A-Lot says, I literally just hopped on the live stream to hit a like, and boom, got a sale. Y'all out here implementing instant sale likes now, or what? Yeah. Our like works faster than the eBay sale button. So the buy it now button on eBay, there's like a 20 to 30 minute delay. Ours is instant, just like that. I mean, you may have been getting the sale before you hit the like button, but by the time you do, that sale is coming through. Swamp Pickers at work. Nice to see you. We got Brenda saying hi.
Hello, hello.
Our gang treasures says, I purchased the Tiffany gold pocket watch for $30 at the flea market this week, Estimated value $2,000. You just never know.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
So get it sold, darn it. Brenda Smith says sales have been consistent, $9 to $28. I'll take it. Still trying to downsize. Yeah. Downsize. I mean, I'm trying to build up. I just want to build a store somewhat in scale with what I'm doing so I can make more money, essentially. James Helferstay says, I'm just here 30 minutes early to see all the slackers who were here before me instead of listing. Get to work, you bums. And it's probably, though, James, you're probably done with your work. You know, you use he has access to the tool that we don't have access to. And I'm sure that he's probably done with it. Keith says, not had a great week, only sort of 3 or 4 a day last week. Nothing great, really, but it is what it is. Keep pushing forward, yeah.
Yep, he got a new logo, too.
And, yes, James, hopefully Pee-wee is doing okay. I know he's been having some health problems.
Yeah, he's been having some seizures, poor little guy.
So we don't like to hear that.
No, I hope he gets better real fast.
Pee-wee is recouping. 36 hours since last seizure. Now just need to get his stomach back in shape from all the meds. Yeah.
Poor Pee-wee.
Sorry about that.
He needs a big hug.
Keith says, historically, July onwards has been the better months for me, so should start to see things change. It still goes that way, but firstly, we're focused on the new increased fees we're going to get. Ugh. Yeah, and eBay is going to monitor how you guys take that, and we'll implement that here on us at some point. Keith says, which we find out tomorrow what the extra charges on fees going to be. I can see a lot of people changing their promoted levels after tomorrow. I mean, yeah, unless you plan on making less per item. It has, one of two things have to happen. When there's any kind of fee increase, either you're taking less profit or you're charging more for the item. And then you run the risk of charging more for the item and pricing yourself out of the market. Whereas that item could have been sold to someone who's price sensitive now sees it as being too high. Keith says, as now every sale is charged as a promoted, no such thing as organic now unless you don't promote at all, which will take a month to clear after you stop promoting, something I'm considering. Okay, one thing that you got to know, though, Keith, is you say it takes a month to clear because of the halo effect, the halo rule, where let's say you're promoting this item at 5% and you say, you know what, I'm not promoting this item anymore. You take the promoted off. If someone's visited that item, they can come back and buy it, but you're going to be hit with that 5% fee 30 days later.
You're going to have to do a delist, relist.
Yes. So you want an end item sell similar or delist, relist.
I do know a thing or two.
And it will then, that's the hard reset on a promoted listing. Any of you guys want to go to just organic on some listings and say, you know what, I'm not going to promote these items. You want to take those and end them and then either relist or do an end item sell similar. And you have a new item number for that now. Let's see. Brenda says, I'm not promoting because this is part-time for me and more of a hobby, fun. That being said, I do set goals and keep track of everything on a spreadsheet. I think that's great. If you don't... See, for me, it's about the churn. How can I quickly flip through this $10 item I bought into 90? Okay, or if that doesn't sell at 90, keep lowering it until I find the price point where I can sell it. Maybe at 60. So I'd rather flip that 10 into 60 than to wait 2 months for the 90 because that money is going to be put back to work to buy more items and help build my store. Duncan says, Jenna is launching a new channel, Shipping Easy Ain't Membership, $500 US a day. Happy cicadas and crickets to all. Well, it wasn't easy today.
That's not true.
She had a 4-hour shipping session today?
Oh my God, forever. It was really long. I even got up earlier.
When are we going to do the shipping video? I tried to get her to do a shipping video, and I said, let's do a shipping video. We have like 7 or 8 items. This is like last week. I don't want to do a shipping video.
Because he sprung it on me at the last minute, like I'm trying to make my coffee, and he's like, hey, let's do a shipping video.
See, what I want to do is, I want to get the gimbal and have it track her around the room while she's working, have her mic'd up, and she can talk to you about what she's doing. But she's like, I don't want to do that.
I don't need to talk, though. Like, there's not that much
People
to talk
are going
about.
to want to know what you're doing while you're doing it, so they can maybe take those morsels and put it towards what they do. They like what they see, but you're not talking about it. It's like not doing it at all. That makes sense, because you're not helping.
They can see what I'm doing.
Not always. Sometimes you got to really point out what you're doing. Jersey Jane says, hot here in Pennsylvania. Was in South Jersey yesterday for a graduation party my niece was given, and hotter there. Guess it's hot everywhere. Yes.
108 here.
It's hot everywhere.
It's hot everywhere.
Welcome to summertime.
Yeah.
Welcome to the time of year where it's just
only going to get worse.
Yeah, and it's going to be up to 100, and I hate to say it. I don't even want to put it out there, but anybody who's coming to eBay Open has to be ready for August. Either one of two things are going to happen. It's going to be 115 to 120 degrees, dry heat, or we could have monsoons where it's hot.
I like the monsoon.
And all of a sudden in the afternoon, here comes these clouds rolling in, and it's like thunderstorms and lots of rain.
I like the monsoons, but I don't like the triple digits.
Kevin Hawthorne's with us. Nice to see you. Good evening from Lakeland, Florida. Biscuit Butt was first in his own mind.
In his mind, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Hot in Florida. Hot and muggy in Florida. Ping G says, hello, John and Jenna in the chat. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I avoided Ping. I don't know if she saw me in California, but I made sure that she didn't see me. I didn't want her to slap me for insinuating that 6/5/18 was her birth date. I apologize.
He already got slapped for that.
But you know what? If anything, Ping, Andy Reno's 3 years older than you. Maybe first.
I think you should just stop while you're at it.
Okay.
You're not really ahead, but you might want to stop it.
Duncan says, my dad has to have surgery today. We are expecting a severe weather event, rain and strong winds.
Whew.
Oh, well, hopefully.
Well, we are praying for your dad, that everything goes the way it should go, and he has a full and complete recovery.
Yeah.
Because Lord knows, those are scary.
Callie Debs is with us. Says, hello, John, Jen, and chat. I hope sales have been good. Sales have been pretty good here.
Good, yeah. Callie Debs.
Mike Mecco says, hope all goes well with your dad, Duncan.
Yes.
My prayers go out to him. Yeah, we'll all be praying for him. Keith says, hey, Biscuit, it's only on John's Live. The names are messed up, but anywhere else they're fine. It can't be because I'm using OBS Studio. I'm going to figure this thing out.
We've been using it.
We've been using it, but it could be that they've done something and it doesn't.
Maybe YouTube did it.
They could have. I'm sure if it's happening with OBS Studio, I will find the answer, because I am not the only one that uses OBS Studio. Henri Squaw says, howdy, John, Jenna, and FA chat. Good sales weekend, but today is dead.
Well, at least you had a good weekend. The day's not over yet.
Not over yet. Henri Squaw says, I've seen the name changes on several channels, so it may be an OBS Studio.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I will do what I can. Look, I still technically have StreamYard, I guess. I really enjoy using OBS Studio. I feel like things are a little bit more fluid for me on here. Believe it or not, it's to me better on OBS Studio. But if I have to use StreamYard, I'll use StreamYard. If that makes it, if I can't find a fix for it. Underscore says no yelling. Stop yelling. Keith says, John, okay, John, I can't remember what's going to talk about. The show must be over. It's not over until I say it's over, darn it. Andy Reno says, cha-ching now. I hit the like button. There you go. Duncan, hit the like for your free cicadas. And we have time to sell collectibles. Hello, FA viewers, members, and John and Jenna. More thunderstorms in Maryland.
Oh, we like thunderstorms here.
Keith says, mine is great, and yes, not perfect, but it does do more than just listing. It can do a cross list and handle the most common messages, thanking buyers and informing buyers from shipped, etc. So that part is automated. So how do I sign up for that?
Yeah, how do we get?
So you're leaving me out, man.
Leaving me in the dust.
I could certainly use something. I won't use it. Once this all rolls out, AI rolls out, I will use it, but I will use it to handle my drafts. So we're talking about maybe incorporating one stock photo for that item that I already have, because I'm buying everything online. I have the photo of the item online, and I'll just use that to create the listing. And then once it's created, saved in my drafts, I'll then go update the price, the weight, because I charge calculated shipping, and then the location and the SKU, along with my photos, adding my photos. I'll still be using Photo Room. I think that's probably the best for me. And that will save me only about 2 hours, 3 hours a week, but it's still going to save me time. Just like you had a new employee. Yeah, that's what AI is going to do. Will's Deals.
You have to check its work.
Will's Deals LLC.
Will's
How's it going,
Deals.
guys? AI is the way. Adapt or die. Yep. But I'm happy to hear that at least Keith is willing to talk about his program. So he does use AI, and you know, it's one of those things where,
Poor Keith.
well, but the thing is, he has his own AI, and so he can now look and see how these other programs compare to what he has, and maybe he can get those revisions done so that maybe he likes a little bit of what's going on with this AI program, that AI program, and build it into what he has currently going on.
Well, his sounds really appealing. The fact that it can do a lot more than just what the others do.
Yeah.
Listing quickly.
Keith says, if you take a title that you listed manually, put it into Grok and ask it to compare the title with what buyers would type into search, it's interesting. Try it. That might be an exercise we do for the members only, which looks like we're going to have a members only, what? Is it this week?
We just had one.
Did we just have one? So we're gonna do the members only, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. I think we're gonna space it out like that. Let's see. What's wrong? She's looking at her. She's not paying attention to this broadcast. She's playing with her phone right now.
No, I'm trying to get the whatever. Doesn't matter.
Samantha's with us. Says hello, John, Jen, and FA viewers. Had a good weekend. Good sales.
Yes, actually.
More quantity than anything else. The secondary account actually had 21 sales this weekend.
21. It's never had that.
As
right.
compared to, what, 13 or 14 on mine.
This morning I thought I was logged into the wrong account, and I'm like, what? 21 on a hot desert?
Yeah. Keith says, nope, you can't do a meetup on Friday unless you're doing the live from the meetup. Well, it's always possible. We might have... You know how I went live and, you know, we did the walk around in downtown Vegas and I just went live randomly? I could bring the gimbal to the restaurant and, you know, have a little live session there while grubbing on a little pasty.
I do have an issue with the place that you guys are...
We're not talking about it here.
Okay.
It's not for this discussion.
Okay.
We haven't decided on a place yet.
Okay.
That's the story that I'm coming up with and I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
Lori Brackmeyer, I'm sure that's not really your eBay handle, but thank you so much for the reminder. Completely forgot about my $50 eBay shipping supply credit.
Ooh.
Placing the order right
yes,
now. There you
do
go.
It.
Don't let it lapse, guys. I mean,
don't lose $50.
As I used to say, free is free.
Money or eBay doesn't give us much, so make sure you use that coupon.
10 Hemlock says, hello FAA in chat. Moist outside here. Love it. We need a moist sound.
No, we don't.
That's what I need to get.
That's disgusting.
We need to get a very moist sound.
Nobody needs a moist sound.
Joe Nye says, my numbers show on the other chats. Just wonder why I only have one digit. Because you're the only one. You're the only
you're
Joe.
You're number one, Joe. You're number one.
2 muffins in an oven.
2 muffins in an oven.
That doesn't sound right. That sounds like 2 girls and... Okay. AI is fine if you're... What? I didn't say anything.
2 muffins in an oven.
Yeah. AI is fine if you're selling new items, but a lot of items not new need a more personal touch describing it. I don't use it because AI is nothing more than reading a manufacturer's back of the box phrase. But you can tell AI... I'm not sure about these other programs that are doing it for you, but if you're just trying to create AI descriptions, you can tell it one time during that session. So maybe you're doing like 20 items. I need you to write me an optimized eBay item description for this item and do it as if, you know, in a relaxed tone or whatever you want to say. You can tell it like, don't use big words or whatever. It'll break it down for you, and it'll put it in a way where it doesn't feel like it's, one of those bulleted listings you see on Amazon. It will actually be really good. I mean, you got to try it. I mean, if you haven't tried it yet, try it. Try to go in and have AI create you a title and give it, tell it to write it as if you're a pirate. It'll do that. Write it as if you're 5 years old. It'll do that. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that, but you can. Real Timeless Vintage says, I almost did a life mistake.
Uh-oh.
This is Bear here. Nice to see you, Bear. I have a raw amber 660 grams or 1.5 pounds. Almost sold it for $300. But after research with ChatGPT, the value average market is $3,700. I took the listing down. What is the value on eBay, and has that even sold? A similar item like that sold? I don't know much about amber, so
no.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. We got
Good
Jovial.
Morning.
Nice to see you, Jovial. Hey, FA fam. Sorry I'm late. Just got back from the Bezos wedding in Venice. Bezos wedding in Venice.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. I did see his picture with the panda. You see that one? No. Thanks to all those who sell on Amazon, shop at Whole Foods, and use Audible so he could afford the $50 million wedding. Who needs a $50 million wedding?
I'm sorry, but I would much rather spend that money on a honeymoon or a vacation, or I wouldn't even begin to touch $50 million.
If Jeff Bezos was smart. Bozo. I don't care.
Bozo, that's a good one.
Okay, if he was smart, and he is smart, he was smart enough to build Amazon, but if he was still smart, he would create a website that would rival eBay. And because he was able to build Amazon, maybe take bits and pieces from the technology and put it, towards. I'm sure that he would be able to do it. But of course he's out of that business, I think. Thomas Arnie says, I got an eBay message today. You're invited to the exclusive Pro Seller program. I have a one-on-one rep for 3 months. Is this a big deal or just a normal things that happens? It's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
I mean, it's a big deal. Not everyone gets that. You're probably selected out of a hat. And anytime eBay's willing to give you something, take it.
Free.
Take it.
Yes.
I mean, really, and pay attention to what they're telling you. If you have a one-on-one with an eBay rep, find out the things that they really want you to focus on. So, albeit maybe your title, your photos, find out, hey, will I have the same level of success with the items I'm selling organically, or do I need to promote? See what they have to say. Now, some might give you the company line. Yeah, we recommend you promote at whatever we recommend. Don't follow that advice. But some of these reps will be honest with you and say, yeah, we want you to promote at 15%, but you might be able to get away with like 3 or 4 for this kind of item. So you'll be able to gauge if they're trying to sell you on stuff. So be wary of that. But otherwise, take whatever advice they have and apply it towards your listings. Keith says, I still think Jenna should do a shipping video coming. Who wants to see the Jenna shipping video? I do. I was going to buy a new mic set. It's the DJI.
You need to buy another
because the one I have is not great. It's kind of tinny. I don't like it. I want to get the DJI Mini.
I feel like you've been buying mics for.
Look, I'm thinking about doing that. Duncan says, Jenna, shipping video, great idea. And then Bear sent me a picture of that amber piece, so let's take a look. I'm sure he's cool with me. Wow. That looks like pretty big. Here it is.
Holy cow.
What do you guys think of that? That's pretty cool.
That's wild.
So, are there comps for it? See, I don't know anything about it, but...
Can you sell it to a... Gosh, who would buy something like that?
That's pretty awesome.
That thing is huge.
Keith says, need a poll, John, for a Jenna shipping video.
No, we don't need a poll. I already
polls
know.
Are great.
You just like having fun with it. That's
I think
all.
polls are great. Let's do a poll. Start a poll.
I will do a video, a shipping video.
Would you guys
You don't need to do all
watch
this.
a Jenna shipping video? That's it. Clear to the point.
Nobody.
Oops.
Nobody cares.
That's it. And then start the poll. There it is. We got a poll for you guys. There it is. Would you guys watch a Jenna shipping video? Joe Nye says, cool here today.
92.
92.
In NorCal.
And we have Gail. Hello, John and Jen and FA family. Nice to see you. Jovial Dang, real-timeless vintage has some big stones. Andy says, I'm so old I fart dust. That's horrible. So if you did the fart in the jar, it would be a little different than what's currently offered. You should try that.
Stop.
You might be able to... You'd be the first one to have a fart in a baggie because you have dust. That might work.
Why a baggie?
Because he has dust. He doesn't need the air. He just needs the little baggie to hold the dust. A little bit cheaper on the shipping cost. Ping says, the last eBay Open I attended was in July, and it was hot back then. We waited until 9 p.m. to go out to dinner, and it was still hot.
Yes, it does not cool down at night here.
Yeah, but it's going to be in the Venetian, and you're going to be able to go, if you want to stay within the hotel or casino, you can get something to eat, or, so I don't know where you were before, if it was July of 2019 when you went. I don't know where they had it. Cry Me a River says, hello, family. Didn't get any notifications, but only 24 minutes late. LOL, I'm happy to be here. That means you just made it past the diatribe portion of the video.
Is that Daisy?
I believe it is. I believe it is. Gail says, I'm so old I can't even fart dust. Yes. Keith says, John, I think it's something on YouTube side, not OBS. Well, I'm going to do...
That's what I think.
I'm going to employ Grok to help me come up with an answer. In fact, I'm going to do a screen grab of what the hell I'm talking about. It's that simple, that fast, and I will get down to the bottom of this. Pink says, my name shows correctly on other lives, but not this. We're the special live. We're the authentic
special.
Live. Not all lives are like this one.
Yeah.
Cry Me River says, since I turned off all promotions, I'm getting sales every day. Found a problem today with delayed eBay notifications of a sale. I got it to Ching, but could not find a sale for about an hour. And this is the segment of the program where Jenna gets up to answer the door because our mailman's here. And he's got a lot. I hope it's our regular one because he's cool. Otherwise, this might be interesting. Craig says that it's apparently rolling out to some channels. I've seen it both ways recently. Well, we're going to find out. I will either have it fixed by the next one, or you're going to see it again. So if you see it again, just know that I wasn't able to get it to get an answer. Steven's Bargain Barn says, Jenna, don't have to do a shipping video. We all know who runs the show. Number one, Jenna. But don't you want to see how she's doing it? Now, there's some that, looking at this, some say no. But we only have 29 votes in. 86% say yes. Let's see. Cry Me River. So I had to make 2 trips to the post office when I later found that sale. Well, it's better than not having the sale and only making 1 trip. Unless you're really far away. Sir List-A-Lot, enjoying this lovely 75-degree rain-soaked day in Pensacola, Florida. My umbrella just surrendered, so now I'm dancing with the ducks. I hope they tip me for the performance. I'd love to have 75 and rain right now. Mike says, I always do a live from all the meetings anyways, so we'll do one together. Why not? We'll figure it out. Dark Sea Sailor, Whatnot is cutting their commission rate in half for the 4th because they know a lot of people aren't going to be on there. So if you are thinking about doing a live, why not do it on the 4th? Get half your fees. It's 7:30 a.m. in Japan right now. That's awesome. I'm getting a lot of buzzing on my watch here. Christina says, happy Monday from Encino, California. Keep up the great work and dedication, John and Jenna. I've been a long-time viewer before Picky Ricky showed up. Yes, we remember you, Christina. I saw you on the live at the end on Friday, but hopefully you're here to stay. Susan Phelps says, "Hey FA fam, hope sales are good. Sold 4 items yesterday and brought in $225. There you go." And it all just depends on what your goals are. If you don't really have any goals, like whatever I sell, then yeah, I mean that's $225 bonus. Willis Deals LLC, in my opinion, creators of these programs, but get the bag while they can. I have used the other program and it's good, but I have no coding knowledge, and I think we will be able to prompt ChatGPT to do the same. I've often wondered if I could just get, ChatGPT or Grok to help me figure out a way to code. So I don't know crap about code, so I don't know if I could actually use AI to make that happen. But I have this sneaky suspicion, and I'll give credit to Primo for being the first to kind of bring it up. Do you think that AI is going to start really taking their AI photo lister tool a little bit more seriously? Maybe see what these other programs are doing and maybe get theirs working right? Now, I don't know. Right now, I think the tool they have only works or works at all in certain categories. But if they were to launch it out across the board, would they charge for it? I'm wondering if they would charge for it. I'm not trying to give them ideas, but I'm just thinking out loud with you guys. Jovial says, my mom used to call her brother the educated idiot. He was the borderline genius, but had zero social skills and very little common sense. And I think having common sense or not having common sense is overrated. I think that's a skill we all need to have excellent common sense. Dark Sea Sailor says, sell amber to the jeweler for at least $10K. Have you thought about that, Bear? Whoop, sorry about that. Take this amber piece to your local jeweler and see what it can be appraised for. Maybe you did that already. I don't know. But it seems to me that $3,700 might be a little bit low. Sir Lissalot loves shipping videos. There we go. We're going to get here on it. And then we got Brett says, hey, John, Jen, and FA fam. Living the dad life, teething, crawling, climbing stairs. Everything is great. For some reason, I cannot rewind the live to watch the beginning and fast forward. Really? You can't? Maybe it's your phone. Maybe you're on the PC. I don't know. That's really strange. Cry Me River says, yes, it's Daisy. Why is my name show different now? Sorry, I do not know. Don't worry about it. We're going to try to get an answer to that. And you know what I noticed? The chat seems a little short today. We don't have a lot of folks in the chat. We have 115 watching, but not a lot of comments for some reason. Normally, I am super, super far behind, and I'm wondering if it's because people who kind of got in late aren't watching from the beginning and, having the same problem that Brett's having. I want to find out about that as well. So there's two problems I'm going to try to find out. This whole name thing in the chat, and why aren't viewers allowed to go back and watch? Ping G says, last eBay Open I attended was at Mandalay Bay. Went to Cracker Barrel for dinner. That's over by the Goodwill Bins. Well, not far. I think perhaps it was that Italian place in Henderson. Jersey Jane says, yes, shipping video, please. Keith says, another cha-ching, 30-pound sale. There you go. I didn't get no sale, but it is what it is. Keith says, I don't know what happened to Picky Ricky. I used to have him on WhatsApp, but he stopped replying. It very well may be that he just doesn't care about reselling. I mean, it's like if I was told I couldn't play, let me use the bowling example. If I would have went to bowling this last season and found out that my arm was just not going to recover, which was one of my fears. I was afraid that my arm was going to be re-injured. At that point, I would have just hung it up. And I don't want to see other people doing things that I enjoy doing. I just don't. Bowling is one of them. I wouldn't watch bowling videos unless I was bowling. So just to give you kind of an example, he may not have any interest in it right now. Keith says, oops, it's 11:43 p.m. there. Oh, it's pretty late. Kelly says, looks like Jenna is doing a shipping video. We're at 80% on the shipping video as a yes. 20% of you don't care. And I think 20% of you is like, you know what? I have my own process. I don't need a shipping video. Are you going to get through here? Or are you going to make me... Okay. Something's wrong, though. We don't have as many comments in the chat today, so I think something's not right. I'm usually way behind, and I'm not today. I'm like 3 minutes behind.
Really?
Yeah. And so maybe karma allowed that to happen so that I could prove Beard wrong, that I'm not trying to skip every comment.
What's cooking for the 4th?
I will try, says Bear. Yeah, try to get that appraised. Where did you come up with 3,700? I mean, I'm not doubting the value of it, and I think it's undervalued, to be honest with you. Yeah. So have a second opinion. Sir List a Lot says I couldn't rewind either. I usually hope on and second to catch 2x to catch up.
I could rewind either. I could rewind.
He says I usually hop on and do 2x to catch up. See, when you guys misspell words, I read the words for what they are, and I sound like an idiot.
Yeah, but
more so than I already do. What? What are you gonna say?
Nobody misspelled a word.
Yeah, hope. He hopes on. Who hopes on a live?
Oh,
I mean, I hope. I guess I could say I hope that we get more people in chat.
Okay. I usually hop on.
Yes.
And okay, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Jovial says not able to rewind, fast forward either. That is just weird.
I don't know. Maybe you need to log out.
Something's weird. It's like one of those lives that are just screwed up. I may have to use StreamYard if this is what's going to happen, because that's not good. Brandon Bramlett says, I got held up at the post office. Busy there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that we get pickups. I'm glad we have a good carrier. And
yeah, our carrier just said that on Saturday he had to pick up for a different route. And he said that he came upon somebody who does what we do. And he was so disorganized that he was like, it makes me feel super grateful that you guys do your business the way you do.
How can you be disorganized on a package pickup?
He said
we don't give him a sheet.
He had a lot, and he just had shit.
So he
everywhere.
Had packages that weren't completely sealed and labeled. Well, hold on, let me put this last label on.
I don't know that.
That makes
much,
no sense.
But he was very disorganized. He said.
Time to sell collectibles. I have to ask AI to type a comment.
Huh?
That's weird.
What?
Steven's Bargain Barn says only thing I see about does new listing tools not knocking it, but I cannot read these comments. Only thing I see about does new listing. See, it's the grammar, guys. I can't. I'm not smart enough to decipher this language. The only thing I see about the new listing tool, not knocking it, but don't get me wrong, a lot of people nowadays list on the phone through the app of eBay. Not everyone. Some people do both. And I believe that some of these tools are coming out with their own app. So
did you know you're still screen sharing?
Yeah, but I want them to see it. Especially the ones that weren't here. So now they can, or weren't able to go back. They can now see it. See? I wasn't aware of that, but thanks for reminding me. I was looking at the camera. I was actually looking at the chat and the camera.
So was I.
Yeah. Henri Squaw says, did you ask Grok a question? I don't know, but yeah. Let's see. 3 cha-chings for Sir List a Lot.
Was that really bothering you, Keith? Was it really bothering you? Was it under your skin? Just
Keith is on live patrol right now. He's making sure that I'm like following all the things I need to do. He's got my back.
He's got it in big caps.
Henri Squaw says, "What is it analyzing?"
What is what analyzing?
I don't know. There's no sidebar convos going, so I mean, I'm getting it from all angles right now.
ChatGPT. Oh, he got it from Chat.
Oh, ChatGPT. Don't trust everything that ChatGPT because
do more research.
Yeah, definitely take it in and get it appraised.
Yeah.
Henri Squaw says, "Yeah, rewind does not work for me. It didn't work for me when I went on the other screen here either." Kelly says, "Sometimes we misspell due to autocorrect."
That's true.
Yeah, true.
That is true.
And my mind doesn't have an autocorrect.
His phone struggles with that on a daily basis. Like
my mind struggles with that.
Well, your mind.
When I'm seeing other words
doesn't help
that
when
aren't
your
there.
phone is also doing it.
Wow. Christina says, "Are you going to have a live on the 4th?" That was something I wanted to brainstorm. I don't know if I think a lot of people are going to be busy.
Wait, the 4th is on a Friday, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It may not be.
I kind of wanted to go
what?
go visit the kids.
Another road trip?
Hey, you don't get to say that.
I just got through doing that.
You don't get to say
All
that.
right.
Your daughter will murder you if you choose not to go visit her, but you will go and visit when Mike came in.
Okay. We're going to have this conversation later. We're going to invite everyone else into this conversation.
I'm just saying.
Is that what we're doing right now?
4th of July is up in the air right now.
Okay. I would say, even if we're here, I would say there's going to be so many people doing things that evening that it may not work. Let's shoot for Monday. Do we have another poll? Let's have another poll.
Oh, God.
Let's make this work here. Oh, I got to end the first poll. Okay, so the first poll, Jenna, you're doing a video. 80% says yes on the shipping. Okay.
Okay, I already knew that.
Okay, so now on this next poll, we're gonna say, will you be able to make a live on the 4th of July? So we're going to put start poll. There it is. Will you be able to make a live on the 4th of July? So those of you who are here right now, you're watching after the fact, the poll will be ended. You can't do anything with that. But if you're able to make it, and we get at least 60%, then, and we're here, we're not going anywhere, then we will do it. Karina Bear, actually I think Karen A. Bear, sorry, it's just hard to figure this out.
Yeah.
Just got on, not able to rewind to start from the beginning.
Maybe once we're done, you'll be able to do that.
Oh yeah, you'll be able to, but it's weird, and I think that's what's happening. I think people are watching at this point right now and are really would rather go to the beginning and catch it from the beginning, and they just say,
lot of people
forget it. They're not going to do it. Keith's just tried and can't rewind either. Lee Smithies says, I'm trying out eBay's own AI lister. It's live here in UK and don't know about the US. Well, I do know that the lister, the Easy Lister, is going to
List easier, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm just
I don't know the
trying to
title.
remember.
Is it List Easier or Easy
Josh's
Lister?
hat said List Easier.
Then it's List Easier. Okay, List Easier is going to roll out for the UK.
Am
so
I wrong?
You're not wrong.
I'm
You're not
just
wrong.
trying to remember.
My mind is fried. I'm still tired from my trip. I am
I'm
dead.
surprised your eyes aren't bright red.
They were.
Yeah.
They were earlier. I was having that situation too, where my eyes were bloodshot red, and I think it has to do with just not getting enough sleep. I'm hopeful that's what it is. I hope it's not like some autoimmune thing. Derek got a ka-ching. First sale of the week. Super cool.
Yay, Derek!
Jovial says, my post office and transfer station used to rock. Now, what used to take 6 to 8 hours in shipping now takes close to 72. Why is that?
Why?
Why is that? Now, we have our station's not all that
She's not
fancy.
going to tell us where, though.
Where what?
Where she? I want to know where.
Where what?
What shipping? What post office? What city? What state?
Why?
She's not going to tell us that, though.
Underscore says, no, when you were sharing screen, the live was up, but it was circling and analyzing your live? That's really weird. Noah's Attic says, I know that we're working a full schedule on the 4th, listing, prepping for ship out full day.
Well, there's no shipping on Friday.
No shipping on Friday.
Yeah.
But your Friday shipments will be going out on Monday. Now, I don't think
Ours
even
do
FedEx and UPS would show up, because some holidays FedEx and UPS will be open, but I don't think.
FedEx, not USPS.
Sutter's Mill, Etsy's take rate is now 23.3%, meaning almost a quarter of every sale goes straight to Etsy, and that's before ads, shipping, and materials. No, thank you.
Wow.
I mean, you really have to have higher prices to make it work.
You really have to be up there.
Keith says, John, it's the 4th. Take Jenna to see the kids. But you don't even know. You said I'd like to, but you don't even know.
I can go there whenever I want, but Kelly had a conniption fit over the weekend finding out that you went to go see Mike, because she called me Sunday furious.
How did she find out?
Furious.
Who told her?
I did. Because she said...
You're getting me in trouble with my kids.
I'm honest.
Well, you didn't have to. You could be honest without mentioning it.
What am I going to say? Oh,
he's not here right now.
He's not.
She never asked for me anyway. She calls and talks to her, and she never asks to speak to me.
It's because
this
the
is
kids
the daughter
want
that's
to talk
furious.
To me.
This is a furious daughter that never reaches out to me. Remember this.
Want to the girls? My grandbabies call to talk to grandma.
So Steven's Bargain Barn says you don't have to do a video on Friday. Spend time with your family. So
well, there's going to be some logistics that have to go into that. So that's why I'm not quite sure. It's the only weekend in July that we can go to California, because I have doctor's appointments on 3 Saturdays of July.
Yeah. Well, then you decide. You guys figure it out. Keith says, yes, I could, but only if you don't go see the kids. But I would take Jen to see the kids. Family more important than the live. Yeah. Let's see. Jovio says, love you, both of you, but we are not more important than those babies. Go visit while you can. No. It has nothing to do with that. I mean, if we're here, we're going to be... If we're here, then we got to consider... we're at 61% of you are going to be here so far in this poll. But is the juice worth the squeeze? Meaning that, we're going to have like a live where nobody's going to be here to talk to. It's... I don't know.
Yeah, and we have the dogs. It's a whole thing going to California. It's not as easy as getting in the car and going.
Bear says, 4th of July, no problem. 5th of July, taking my family to the river to have some fun because I'm always working.
Yeah, that will be fun. Yeah. I want to go to the river.
Karen Aber, I have been taking tons of photos for new listings, so upping my listing game soon.
Nice.
Yeah. There is shipping on Saturday. eBay doesn't expect you to. So when eBay's saying you need to ship today, you'll never see that on the weekend. It'll be Monday for all your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday listings. Will's deal says going to see Mike was a work trip. It really wasn't. I didn't find anything.
Not at all.
I didn't find anything. But
you didn't even go to.
He did give me a peso, which I thought was cool.
Peso? Yeah,
I told him. He was in Seoul, South Korea. When I was driving, I knew he was flying, but I wasn't sure if he was in the air or if he was at his transfer point in South Korea. And I sent him a text. He's like, yeah, I'm sitting here waiting for my plane. So I called him and was talking to him for like an hour while I was at the airport. I said, see if you can get me like some paper money from Seoul, South Korea. I want something. He's like, all I have is a card. I don't have any way of getting paper money. But he brought me this... I don't know. I kind of like money. I think it's kind of cool to collect it. It's a peso from the Philippines. A peso.
That's so weird.
And he said that 100 of these is like $2. The value is like $2. So, I don't know. I have a Mexican peso and a Filipino peso. 100 pesos.
That's wild.
I have. So, I think that's my new hobby. Kind of hobby is to collect currency. Collect currency. I think it's cool. I like to see the different types of currency that we have. And then this one, I also keep in my... I kept this in my wallet because if I ever found myself on the other side of the border in Mexico, I wanted to be able to at least, be able to pay for something.
Pay somebody something.
This is a Mexican peso.
Why is it so small?
That's just it. It's just the 20 pesos. And I paid this lady at work, and there's like a
whoa, what is
it's
that?
like a see-through deal right there. And I told her, I said, look, I want some pesos. Do you have any? She's like, yeah, I have some. I was like, well, let me buy that one. How much? $5. And then someone said it's only worth $2. So she ripped me off.
I mean,
one of my employees.
Talking Amtrak. That doesn't surprise me.
It was one of my employees. She ripped me off. I probably shouldn't fold these, though, but they've been in my wallet, so...
They shouldn't be in your wallet.
Yeah. But guess who we have? We have the GOAT himself, Craigslist Hunter. Take time off. I'm closing the shop for 3 days, the whole weekend.
Oh, yeah. Are you going up to the cabin?
How is the cabin? Is
the cabin done?
Yeah. I want to know about that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, Craig. Pete. Craig. My mind is not here. Pete.
You said it like
well, you know what?
What is that
you know,
movie?
We haven't
what is
seen
that
him.
movie?
We haven't.
Craig.
We haven't seen him in a while.
I know.
It's been a minute.
What is that? What is that movie? What is that movie?
I don't know what you're talking.
Craig. She says it as Craig.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
I need this poll to get off of my screen so
Why?
I can.
Okay, so we're at 62%. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end this poll because she wants it off her screen.
Yeah, I
so
can't
we're at 62%.
get to anything.
If we are here on Friday, we will do it. But chances are we're not going to be. Jovial says, don't know why. They used to send out within 3 hours of receipt. Now it isn't until the next day. It sits at the next facility for 60 hours. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
Time to sell says, John, don't feel too bad. I have 3 children, 2 children, 3 stepchildren, and 13 grandchildren that only call to talk to me if they want something.
Oh, they don't call if they want something.
At least I don't have that conversation, right?
Our kids know better.
They know.
Yeah.
I've raised them right.
Well,
I have raised
3
them
of
right.
them you have.
3 of them.
Yes.
But I didn't get a chance to raise the other one.
Yeah.
So that's why.
That you got gypped on that.
Joe says, me, myself, and I will be here Friday. And Karen says, I'm going to be listing like a mad woman this weekend.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, make sure you get a little bit of vitamin D.
I will do something. If we go away, I will test the theory. I will set... I didn't say Siri. My phone goes off.
Yeah.
I will set my store for a 3-day handling. Just knowing I'm going to ship it on Monday, but just knowing my theory.
She did! She got it!
What?
That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Ghetto Craig?
Ghetto Craig.
What is that?
From Friday After Next.
Oh, I didn't watch that movie.
Yes, you did.
I have not.
Lies.
I promise you, I have not watched that movie. I know it has Ice Cube in it and all that. I have not watched it. Willis Deal says, I like collecting bills too. I prefer they be American though. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, okay. Friday. See, John the Automator said Friday.
Yes.
Designs Laura says, I was talking to Sutter's Mill. I just made a sale on Etsy and my payment account shows total fees to be 10%. When does the 23% begin?
Oh.
So that's good to know. It's always good to know what the fees are on the other platforms so that you can maybe appreciate. I think eBay gets a lot of flack for, the whole promoted listing program. I mean, right now, it's 13.25%, I believe, for most categories if you don't promote. And then if you do another 3%, you're still below Etsy. If it's 23%, it's below Amazon. It's below Poshmark. I know we want to keep as much money as we can, but we got to understand that sometimes we need to invest money into our business so that we can make more money. The idea, like when she does a shipping video, she's going to show you the paper tape machine. She's going to show you probably you guys have seen it, the air pillow machine that I have in the garage and all the things.
That,
well,
I don't...
but what I'm saying is it's a tool. And if we weren't willing to invest that money into our business, then she'd still be right now shipping this morning stuff.
Speaking of, I meant to put my lotion on my arms.
Yeah, so it's from the movie. Pete says, yes, going up north to the cabin, a lot of families coming over should be a lot of fun. Play golf, drink, and lots of food. I would love to play golf with you.
I would love to be hanging with you.
I would absolutely love to. One day, we're going to make a road trip. I'm going to stop over there.
A road trip might.
We're going to, someday, I mean, it's going to be the day after our dogs aren't here because they're too old to go on a road trip and we can't go anywhere because of them. Mm-hmm. So, I do want to do road trips. We just haven't been able to. Todd says, howdy, yeah, I'm late. Gwen drugged me to Sam's Club today.
Oh, no. Well, at least you went on a Monday.
And you probably went for a couple items and came back with like a car full.
Did you get a slice of pizza or a ice cream?
Devon made it. Nice to see you, Devon.
Hey, Devon!
Lee Smithies, thanks for the heads up. 4th of July, it's a working day here in the UK. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure there's quite a few holidays in the UK that you guys celebrate that we're not even aware of. Let's see. Who do we have here? Devon says, hello, I'm late too. Bear says, I sent you a photo for a Ninja Authentic tool from the 1800s. So let's see what Bear's got here. I have not received that email. Here it is. Well, that's interesting.
Whoa, what is that?
Now, if you brought that into Pete's shop, what would Pete, what would you offer for that? What is that, though? It looks like...
See the sword, the knife?
Oh, man, that's just gnarly. That's scary.
That looks dangerous.
And let me ask, since Pete's here with us, what would you offer for a 1.5 pound piece of amber? I don't know if you saw the image, but I'll show it here again. So there it is, Pete. What would you offer for that? 1.5 pounds of amber. Is there a per ounce rate for amber? I mean, do you even get people bringing in stuff like that? I'm curious. Karen says, I have not been getting any sales lately, so I have to bump up the listings. I have tons of items in my stash pile of not listed items. Get them listed. Get them listed. Mary says, cheating on Team Replay and get to say hello live. Hi, John and Jenna.
Well, hello, Mary.
Well, we're sorry that for whatever reason you guys aren't able to watch from the beginning.
Yeah,
that they're just showing up late.
Andy, that's a hell no.
You can always fly to Midway.
No.
I was thinking. Maybe we fly to Midway, and I'll be mic'd up, and you take the video from afar, and we'll maybe do that part again and see what he has to say.
No. Absolutely not.
All right. Devon says, I'm leaving Thursday for Montana Cabin.
Oh, how fun. You're going to have so much fun. You could see Corky.
Susan says, I'm like you, Jenna. I will go when and where I want. Spend at least 3 times at the beach in a cabin with water view in the fall by myself. It was amazing.
Yes. You know what? Maybe I'm going to book myself a Airbnb somewhere and just go sit by a lake by myself, quiet.
Ping G says, my daughter and her family will be flying to Toronto, Canada on the 4th. Ooh. Wonder if they will be able to see any fireworks at all from the Canadian side.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I bet they will.
Maybe.
Yeah. Out here, if you were to go up to the highest point, what?
That tool was in Todd's proctologist's office.
I hope not.
Pete says, do you know where it came from? Most available amber is from the Baltic Sea. So, Bear, do you know where the origin, where that came from?
That's interesting.
Jovial says, it's all in how we look at things. I was not happy about the eBay fees until the brick and mortar explanation of cost of doing business, and now these eBay fees ain't so bad.
Yeah.
And also, how many of you guys are upset about the fact that eBay charges us fees on taxes collected? Because I'm not raising my hand to that one. If you understood what we would have to go through if eBay didn't do that for us, there's over 40 states that require businesses to submit a quarterly tax collection. So you'd have to do that for every state every quarter and keep track of that. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't work for most people. That would drive people out of business. Keith says, Devon, you're making me so jealous of that cabin.
I know, me too. I want to go to the cabin.
Jenna Corky.
Yes.
Yeah. Karen says, I got to make that money so one day I can take a vacation.
Yeah. I hear you.
Devon says, we're really lucky and have been looking for 3 years.
Yeah. I'm so glad you did, though, because that's awesome.
Pete says average price for amber is about $500 per kilogram. So how much? Oh, here it is. 660 grams. So what does that mean? So we're talking about 300? Is that what that is? Here's a breakdown of what you've got and how it's typically valued. So this is according to Grok, at least what Bear has. Looks like it's raw, natural amber specimen, uncut and unpolished, likely from a fossil resin tree source. The rich honey orange color, translucency, and surface texture suggests it's a Baltic-style amber, though Japanese domestic amber exists, rare and mostly from the northern regions of Akita or Hokkaido. I think I got that right. Sourced from this Japanese government auction, it's even more special, authentic, traceable, and less likely to be copal or synthetic.
Wow.
So there you go. It sounds like it's pretty good. Now, if Pete is saying 500 per kilogram at 660 grams. That would be about $300, right? Or am I reading it wrong?
Wow.
$3 to $6 per gram average retail. So it's saying high end, low end 1980 to 5280. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe Pete knows more. I'm sure Pete knows more. But you would be selling it in Japan, so that market could be different too.
Yeah.
Being that that's even more rare in Japan than it is somewhere else.
Wow, but you can make a lot of jewelry out of that, I'll tell you.
Time to sell collectibles. My wife had a Southwest 14-hour direct flight from Orlando to BWI, diverted to Philadelphia for an 8-hour layover.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah, that I would at that point, if you're in Philadelphia, you might as well just rent a car.
Yeah.
Real Timeless Vintage says, I sent you the Amber info on your email. Yeah, I read that just now. Amber is expensive. Yeah, I guess so.
I guess we didn't know.
Susan says, it was really special. Went thrifting, searching for shark's teeth, and fishing by myself.
Oh.
I also treated myself to a nice restaurant. Spent some money on myself for sure.
Good for you, Susan.
That's
I
awesome.
love that for you.
Sutter's Mill says, for lower priced items on Etsy or when including optional services, taxes, or currency conversion, total can average 15 to 20% and sometimes higher. Wow. And I don't sell on Etsy, but I'm sure the traffic's not as good as eBay, right?
On Etsy? Well, no. Nothing will ever compare to...
So we can't... I just don't think we can complain about eBay. I mean, the fees are what they are. We just got to know what we need to promote at, if at all, to sell our items. Todd says, Amber mosquitoes spliced with frog DNA gets you Jurassic Park. Devon says, I would not want to be flying over the holidays.
Me neither.
Well, there's a lot of people that are kind of concerned about things, like sleeper cells that are here and that type of thing. There's a video I've been seeing on X where this guy, he keeps popping up saying, this is like 4 days ago, 5 more days, you guys will see in 5 days, right? And it's like, what are you going to do in 5 days?
It really makes you not want to travel at all.
Yeah. So,
and that's why, I told our daughter that I was like, we're not going anywhere for 4th of July. We are going to stay in the confines of our home because who knows what the heck's
But if we're driving out
happen.
there, then obviously not.
I know.
So
that's why I'm very hesitant.
Jovio says, I miss those days of sitting at the edge of the lake with my fishing pole, not catching a thing, but taking it in. All nature has to offer except for snakes.
Ooh.
Me too. Me no likey snakes unless it's in the grass.
Yeah.
And even then,
I don't like snakes at all.
Designs Laura says, if that's how you are calculating the fees, I would calculate the same and higher on eBay. Yeah. Did everybody hear about the firefighters?
Yes,
that was horrible.
It is absolutely heartbreaking.
That was horrible.
It's so heartbreaking.
What would drive someone to do that? Mary says, wow, that would make it really scary to travel. Yeah. So, guys, I think here's what we're going to do. 62% of you guys on the last poll said, have it if we're here. I will put out a post if we decide to go, because we'll probably go on Thursday, right? Thursday night. So if we go on Thursday, we'll let you guys know and let you know that we're going to have it on Monday. So, get it? Snakes in the grass.
I did get it, Rhonda. I did get it.
Devon says, I live in Boise and it happened to northern Idaho. So is that over Coeur d'Alene? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Major win. It's nice to see you.
Major win.
Yeah, little late, but you're here.
Hey,
That's all that
you're
matters.
Here.
Yes, Jenna, shipping video can't wait.
Oh God.
And Jonas says, grab the camera for a Lamar Jackson edit.
Excuse me?
I don't know. I know Lamar Jackson's the quarterback, but I don't know about the whole edit thing, so we'll have to look into that. But guys, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for just hanging out with us. We didn't have a whole lot to really say resale related at the end of the show. And those of you who are used to kind of getting in and watching my diatribe, after we're done here, after we end the live, give it a few minutes and go back in, and you should be able to watch the replay. So thank you for being here. And then Major Win says, hey, all, work has been wild lately. Thanks for the warm welcome. Great to see you, John and Jenna. Of
It's
course.
so nice to have you here. I'm so glad.
We need to see you more often, darn it.
Yeah.
Air, it's all good.
Samantha, what'd you say?
Samantha says, Happy 4th of July. Be safe. Have many great sales.
Yes,
Bye all.
I hope everybody is safe and aware of your surroundings, but you also enjoy the time that you have with the people that you choose to spend it with.
Yes.
No, we are not sponsored by KFC. We will never be caught. Oh no, you're wrong. We're having Joe's Italian.
Yeah, we have we bought so much of that stuff to bring home. We have enough for tonight.
Well, because I requested lasagna, and that's
what you got.
I had half of it last night, and I'm gonna eat the other half tonight.
So that's it, guys. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for being really the best part of this channel, and we will see you guys here throughout the week, and maybe on Friday. But I'll keep you posted.
Stay safe. God bless, and we love you all.
Take care.
Chargebacks, returns, and lowball offers too. Vero takedowns, they're a pain. What can we do? High selling fees, bad buys, and rude buyers galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy, by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the things that are within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name with Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy, by your side. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name with Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. Flipping ain't easy, by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the things that are within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name with Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast Profit Playbooks. The name with Scott and Josh. Flipping's more than a game. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have